too.
Oh, Young can play, don't worry about that. But that puts more pressure on Hobbs up against Clark in defence, so he's severely undermanned down back. And Broadbent will have to go on main, so just be careful with that one, boys. We'll watch that space. Port Adelaide's defenders will be undermanned.
So 5 points is the margin. Sandilands got the tap, Young right into the thick of it.
So right now, Sandilands is praying for accurate bounces, because if he can just turn it into a tip-off, outreach his opponent, double team him there, they're going to have to get third man up against him.
Every man and his dog up for it that time.
And I think what Hinkley said was about the defence. Ken Hinkley was basically talking about what the same as Ross Lyon did before the game. If they defend in the middle part of the ground, then the defenders won't have to worry about good entry.
So Port seem to have an extra man up at the stoppage. Freo's got a spare back.
Well done, Polak.
And great tackling too from Polak on Valentine or Pittard. Just got enough on it to get it back to the wing. Had to be combative in the air, and he was. Ebert, well done, Fife, but he too can't find a man. That was close to a throw.
Looked like it.
Play on, out wide, Crowley, Young.
Come back to the centre.
Yeah, well done, he found him.
On the outside.
Well, we've got plenty there. Mundy, it's going to be a tough kick. Well done from Trengove, although his handball was interesting. Gets it to
Doesn't
White.
matter. That's the ruckman giving you what Sandilands can't in following it around the field.
Gray, he did have a man more direct to go.
Well done, Buck.
Done well to break even.
Smart.
And now Young, he almost threw it too. White can use his natural attributes, which is to run and gun. And he is a gun at the moment, Matty White. They're in front.
Well, Hinkley said they'll be right on the outside. They've just got to do the stuff in hard, in tight. And Matty White's been a real goal kicker all year. Boat was clever, and that's what Trengove did. Don, you called it in the middle of the game. That's what Renouf wouldn't have been able to do, but the effort there by Trengove set that up. So did Boak, and here's the run from White. He's been doing it all year and finishing off beautifully. Good floater.
Good miss.
Great time for Matty White's first goal of the afternoon, his 12th of the season. They've shared the goals around. And 5 players in double figures this year, led by Jay Schultz with 25. Fremantle have had, until today, just the one player in double figures. They're charging again. They've got the lead. Winds into the open expanses of the Adelaide Oval. Good desperate stuff. Determination from Silvani. Hard tackling back the other way, though. And we've got ourselves another bounce.
This is going to be a cracking last quarter, boys. Port are going to just try and run all over him, and Freo are going to try and defend him.
Sun shining over the top. Trengove got the tap. Barlow, was it deliberate? Certainly lots of appeals. Haven't paid any all day.
Gee.
They don't this time.
Gee, that rule changes from week to week, doesn't it? I mean, that couldn't have given much more, could it?
Hey, Moons, we saw it during the third quarter. Ross Lyon came down, and he's not against giving his players a spray, but he stayed with Spur against Wingard, and he's had 4 kicked on him.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? He got that matchup as well as the Corns and Fife matchup. I still can't get over that. Corns really.
What a talent! What a man! What a winner!
Don't worry about what I'll say, boys.
That was unbelievable. That was mark of the year for sure.
In his 50th game, Chad Wingard has thrilled the crowd here at the Adelaide Oval amongst 3 Fremantle players. He climbed, he got rid of them all, and most importantly, he dragged them down.
Kick the goal, son.
Well, Lee Spur swings around and goes, he hasn't got it, has he?
A mark like that deserves a goal. We wait no longer. It was a bit of a hesitant kick, wasn't it, after all that?
He jabbed at it.
I don't think Ross Lyon could have coached him how to prevent that mark at three-quarter time.
Just gets the kick away. To Sandilands. Almost got a bit of interference there, Big Sandy. Now Fife in a no-win situation. And fair call. Ball up.
Now this is where Sandilands holds sway.
Wingard, have a look, boys.
I like Spurs' reaction. You can't see it now. He looks around. What? Yeah, when Sandilands gets to stand against the opponent, stand and deliver. Trengove now. The disparity is enormous. 197 centimetres against 211.
Trengove fell into his lap. He hurried it towards Gray. He was looking for a free. He's looking for the footy as well. He's earned it now. He's got some high contact. been in really good form. Career best 30 disposals last week, Robbie Gray.
Had 10 touches in the third quarter. Only had 5 for the first half, boys, so really stepping up.
Into the pocket. And this man that we know is red hot. Wingard takes the mark.
Well, this is a tougher kick than the one he just missed. He's on the left foot, but he's the sort of player that kick this one. He loves the big occasion, boys. He loves it.
Dermy, who do you go with Wingard if he does kick this one? This is the guy that's obviously going to win the match off his own boot at the moment.
Yeah, gee, you know what? He almost needs the agility of someone like Luke McPharlin, and he's not there. I'll give it some thought. That's not coming back.
No.
Gee, you're having a look through the list here.
I think they know Spur's the best bloke for him. That's probably why Ross has left him on because he's the best matchup and he's hoping for one good quarter. But he's a tough bloke to stop when he's on song.
So let's see the response now from Fremantle. Down the line to Sandilands. Pav's there as well. There's some body work, but gee, Trengove, he started his last quarter like a man inspired.
Had the double page spread in the local paper today too, Trengove.
Schultz, high ball. They've got extra numbers. Schultz comes again. Zunga will win the race. And the battle takes it through.
The only one that's out there, gee, could you go with Sutcliffe? He's what is he, second seed, 30-odd games?
Maybe. 5 inside 50s to zip Port Adelaide's way in the last quarter here.
Duffield, they've got some issues there with injury for Michael Johnson. Kick goes back to Sanders. Trengove, who wanted the same result, didn't get it. Subin was handcuffed pretty quickly. Carlisle, Fremantle bodies all around. And the tension is still very much here, all the way around the Adelaide Oval at the moment. They've started so well in this last quarter, Port. 4 scoring shots to 0, but only 1 goal landed so far. Subin couldn't hold him back. His body's flying everywhere. Young out to Boak. He puts the move on early. Rushes the kick. It's touched. Gray. Look at all the Dockers around.
Brilliant.
And he's still found his man. Hardlett thought about it from there. Gave it plenty. Johnson's recovered. He's got to stand up high, and he did.
Well done. That was brilliant stuff by Robbie Gray, keeping his arms free. But Michael Johnson, he's hard to get past back there. Him and Mzungu, they get themselves in a brilliant position.
Now Barlow on the way out.
Now you see those boys side onto him. There's a couple there. Now that means, unusually, as the fatigue in the game dictates, they're sitting back in the back line now. They're not getting a lot of run coming from behind or side on and getting outward flow. It's Fremantle are very much at this point in time. Mark kick. Let's have a look at this.
Sorry, I don't know about. He just hurt his ankle Monday.
Brilliant effort by Robbie Gray.
This is the mark from good saving mark.
He was down a few moments ago. Mundy looks like he's okay. He's up main. Hammers it up into the 50. Carlisle had the early read. Engaged the body. One-on-one with Pavlich. He just left the door open. Just a drift for the big Pav, who sat on top. Corns. Good resilience shown. Needed to be 2. They're circling here, Fremantle. They've got a sniff. That's...
Ooh. I don't even know if he's got even a free kick for going low. I don't even know if he touched him. I reckon he just about had all ball there.
It's meant to be forceful contact.
Yeah.
Or else a trip. Oh, that's an ordinary kick, but it's going to be very fortuitous. And Port can team together. This will be a big team lift at 2. They share it around. The responsibility with White. He spots Wingard, but he likes the goals. He loves the goals. And the raptures of the crowd at the Adelaide Oval.
This fitness really is something with our route. We're actually seeing them still run.
Here's this slide, boys. Yeah, but did he touch? He had his hand on the ball.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
By the rule, it doesn't matter. You slide in.
Yeah, but it didn't. Did he take the feet?
Well, it doesn't make the rule. I'm with you. It doesn't make the rule right.
No, but I'm saying, did Pearce even touch the opposition's body, or did he just have his hand on the ball?
No, I think the umpire's saying that he definitely did, and it's forceful contact is the rule.
Gee, hard run from the back line, and the Dockers have seized up running the ball forward. It's a labouring movement of the ball forward for the Dockers, whereas Port Adelaide is still getting run from behind and run through the lines.
Too high, they're killing him here. Port Adelaide at 7, inside 50s to 1. This will be the 8th.
They're under siege. Boak, Ebert. Oh, he fell over. He had Monfries on, still there, but he goes longer into the pocket. White's outsized, but he's done well. The ball is over the line and out of bounds.
Butchered that one, Brad Ebert. Will be frustrated with that effort.
So, biggest lead of the day for Port Adelaide. 10 points is the margin. Clark comes to the footy. Door was ajar there for Young.
Sandilands is pushed forward now, but he's still having to go to the wing. Can't just let him go to the forward pocket and say, I'm resting now. You've still got to come up and take your position. So if the ball comes forward, at this point in time, unless it lands on his head, he's pretty well useless because he can't move to the ball in this circumstance.
Give it off. He spotted Corns, the left-footed Pittard. He put the tee in the ground. He leaned back. He teed off and put it through.
Well, this is question time now. This is the question's been asked of Freo. Can you do it for 4 quarters? At this stage, it doesn't look like it. Let's have a look here. Scrappy and tight. Just scrappy stuff. And well done by Young. He finds Kane Corns on the other side. Pittard runs hard from half back and just slots it through. 6 scoring shots in this last quarter. 8 inside 50s to 1. 36 disposals to 18. They're all over Freo. They need to respond.
Moons, this is electrifying stuff. 3 goals, 3 in this last term to nothing. What's it like down there?
Mate, they're flying down here at the moment, Hutto. To be all honest, I can barely hear you down here. I've got people banging in my ear down here. So very exciting, it really is.
Don't worry about being honest, Moons.
That's because you said you didn't want to go to Port Adelaide, Moons.
16-7, the contested.
This well, real, wouldn't it?
The contested possessions in the quarter. They are all over the top of Fremantle.
Add another one to that one out of the centre, then 17-7 now.
And we're going to see a response from this Fremantle team. They've got to stem the flow.
I don't know if they can move it quick enough from this type of area on the ground to get gilt-edged shots at goal inside 50 at the other end.
Robbie Gray was on the move from before that stoppage. He flipped it out. Wines goes first. Now Wingart's had 2 shots and missed in this quarter. And the ball just sneaks over the chalk.
They're not a fast-scoring side, do you want to see it.
Right.
I guess we've got to remember, Port Adelaide is still the number 3 defence in the competition, so they don't give up easy scores either, so I can't see them really getting back from here.
Well, they've kicked 9 for the game, and they need to kick 3 to win. Freo. That's if Port don't score.
There's plenty of time for them, but it's getting harder and harder as Mitchell fires away and misses.
What's happening with these boundary line throw-ins? Fremantle are coming right over to the boundary line. They're thinking, let's choke the ball. Somehow, Port Adelaide are getting it to the outside of the congestion and even to the other flank where they have one single player by himself who gets a shot at goal.
Broadbent to the pocket. White. Done well a couple of occasions. Over the top again. Flipped it out to Hartlett. He saw a little passage. Couldn't get down there. And the ball is out of bounds once more. So Fremantle dominated for much of the day. Never on the scoreboard by more than a couple of goals. But Port in this last term have come with a rush. 3 goals, 4 to nothing so far. And they want some more. Schultz fending it away from Pollock. Sutcliffe ran round it. Schultz in game 150s over the top of it. Boak hasn't stopped toiling all day. Wines. Ball's in there somewhere. Now it's out. Barlow. Mitchell. Been a revelation. Wines again. Into the Gray man. Robbie Gray. Across to Young. Stripped of it. So Fremantle defending hard. And they can't escape. They've got a taste for it here, Port Adelaide. A taste of blood. And they want to kill.
11 inside 50s to 1 in this last quarter. 7 shots on goal to zip.
Yeah, but the clearances are 9-2.
Yeah,
taking away from the stoppage. This gets to the outside. It's another shot.
Boak back to the square. They're outnumbered. Mzungu did White somehow not give up the free kick. It's another behind. It all adds. Now the margin is 17.
They just
got out quickly this time.
They've lost their most offensive runner too, with Hill being subbed out of the game.
Could have been pivotal, couldn't in this game. Now Gray again. And great delivery for Wingard. We'll have another crack in this last quarter. 2 misses so far.
Yeah, it was lining up for 5. They just look so much fresher in the legs, Port Adelaide, don't they? They're Freo coming off the big derby over there in Perth last weekend. That can have an effect. It hasn't had for 3 quarters, but at 3-quarter time, I reckon half the side were getting rub-downs in their calves. They look like They were struggling, and Port Adelaide looked full of running.
8 scoring shots to 0. It'll be 9 after this, you think, as Wingard goes back. They've given him a third chance, and this time he's taken it. 5 goals for Wingard. And Port Adelaide lead by 24 points. And the sheer delight is seen all around this Adelaide Oval.
Well, there's the kick to Pav. It wasn't really on, but he had to go for it. Good effort by Dom to slide in there. Look at the leg speed here by Robbie Gray. Really fresh legs. Great kick. And Wingard's just giving Lee Spur a bit of a bath.
Is there much difference between the Kasisi slide in and the one that was pinged at the other end?
There's Wingard. He's just on fire today. He's having a day out. 5 goals too.
His 50th game. Centre bounce. Samuels just tried to hand it to Mundy, but they're winning everything at the moment. Pollock couldn't quite complete it, and now Fremantle can go to work, although it's haphazard at best from Sandlands. Now the defensive Port running on top of the ground. Kasisi gets it across.
Bobby's joining in.
Into the 50, Moons' boy. Here's a chance for Schultz. Spinning through.
He used to run off Moons like that too.
I remember having him covered, Moons.
I took 12 on him one day, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
12, 15, 87 to 9, 963.
To the outside again.
And Monfrey's meticulous little kick in the young. And he can go back and line up again. And this will be their 10th scoring shot.
The story of this last quarter is clearances. What are we running at here, Rude? 12-2. Well, there you go. But they've also had one extra on the outside of the pack, of the tight circle. They've had one to the other side, one to the outside.
That's after subbing off their ruckman too, Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
Gutsy call.
Yeah.
And paid dividends.
Stiff to be the sub after having 18 disposals last week. Right now, he's not worried at all, Aaron Young. This is an unbelievable domination in the last quarter.
It is, and have a look at the fortress here as Jared Healy created over here in Adelaide. A couple of massive victories. They knocked off the Crows. They ran all over them by 54. Brisbane by 113 and Geelong by 40. Big crowds there. Average winning margin of 69 points. I don't think they're going to get there today, but they're up to 30, and who knows, maybe they will. They've kicked 5 goal 5 in the last quarter.
This is quite extraordinary to witness this last quarter. Look at that. 5 goals, 5 to nothing. And they are hungry for more. Freo do what they can. Let's see what it is. Gray, though, out of the middle of the domination. Looked like it might continue, but Pearce is able to thrust it forward. Ballantyne comes up at the footy. Well done, Jarman. Impey again. Kasisi's been steady when they've needed it, and they have at times today. And the former skipper goes again to the current skipper, Mzungu. Carlisle coming off his man again.
Just does a lot of heavy lifting, doesn't he, Helipati Carlisle?
Well, he knows he's got Broadbent, who's playing the spare man at the moment, back there covering for him.
Yeah.
So he's allowed to run off a little bit there.
Michael Johnson's pushed forward for Freo at the moment. It's all off the ball. Pearce smothered. Duffier hasn't really been his day, as Tim's alluded to, some of his kicking errors. Monfrey's put in a lot of toil today. Got the handball out again to Corns.
Look at Mitchell run.
He knew the pressure was coming. Great effort.
He's hurt himself in that, Valentine. Head clash. Get up, get up, get up.
He's trying to. He's a spectator at the moment, like the rest of us. Mitchell, half forward, he'll get a second go. Running out of ideas. Off the left boot. Chips it off the spot. Got it down to Matty White, who might just take them on here, White. He'll think about it. It's that sort of day. Oh! Spoil sport, the goal umpire.
Let's have a look at Valentine. Puts his head into it. It's go head to head.
Shoulder to head, but nothing to worry about there for him, Pete. No, nothing there. He's going for
You
the
are
ball.
absolutely 100% certain, but in this climate...
I'm still 100% certain. He's
That
going
was
for the
actually
ball.
Valentine's fault for going
that's
in
right.
head first.
Absolutely. He might get suspended for knocking himself around in this climate.
Yeah, you can these days, apparently.
So from the throw, it comes Mundy's way into the middle. Now it does open up here for Freo. Barlow spreading it wide for Johnson. Held up by Pollock. Barlow kept on coming to give another option inside the 55.
Fife's got it. He's the only target here.
He's got the run up. Oh, and he's marked it.
Oh, he's a good player.
A good player.
He's a reasonable conveyance.
Yeah, what would Jack
is
call
he the
him?
best midfielder above the head in the comp?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else who's better above the head. He's brave in the air.
James Hurd, really, the way in terms of that.
Look at him plant his feet, set himself for the... He still gets knocked a bit sideways on that jump. Will he kick it though, Roo?
Well, fair to say they need a score, and they need it to be a goal, and it is. Fremantle finally hit the board in the last quarter.
Fair day out for Fife. He's up to 32 disposals, half a dozen clearances, 18 contested possessions and 2 goals. Kicking efficiency at 56, which is probably about where he usually is. But gee, he takes some grabs as well, and that was a ripper.
He's got lost in the traffic there, Walsh. Ebert's his opponent in the midfield.
So, Fremantle, they've got one back, and it's going to take a heck of a lot of work from here. There is still time if they can get it out of the middle and get going, but Port with that determination. Look at Neil, carries a big load, both almost falling in the back there. It's going to be a ball up. 6.5 minutes on the clock. So it's taken to the 20-minute mark of this last quarter to Fremantle to kick a goal.
They haven't beaten Freo since 2009 either, Port Adelaide, so this will be another tick, another boxed up tick for the year.
He's won the last 6, as you said. Off the left to Boar. Pavlitz not quite.
Trap.
So he defended back, which is done. The Boar, he knew there was contact, and he was ready to shake it off. Now Neil looking to the middle, all bases covered. So forced to retreat. Still nothing for him, really loose and clear. It was a really smart kick to Barlow. High ball into the 50. Fife again. If he gets this, he is a freak. He couldn't get over the top of Gordon. Broadbent.
Good hard run again.
Mitchell.
He came from the opposite point of the square.
He's playing for next week, Mitchell. He's not worried about the score. What do you want to spot next week?
No, he's had 7 disposals, this will be, in this last quarter alone. Careful kick for Wingard.
53 inside 50s to 33 for the day.
Yep.
29 scoring shots to 19, but the real damage done in this final term. 5 goals to 1. Along the line goes the kick. Monfries to fly, but combative stuff in the air from the ball. Clancy Pearce, who started the day as the sub, into centre half forward, off to Mzungu from Crozier. Fife again, comes at the ball hard. He doesn't get you in the air, he can get you on the ground. Kick just cleared.
There's that kick, Dern.
Ahead of Mundy.
Yeah, I mean, he hits that lace out. Well, he just gets it with the right amount of touch. It's a shot at goal.
Mitchell locked it in now.
Another area in the second half. We know that they're fit and they can run to the outside and all that type of play, but you've got to get your hands on it first. At half-time, the Dockers were +6 in the contested possession area. In the second half, it's the Power who've won the ball in the contested range 8 more times than Fremantle. So they turned that around after half-time as well.
Clearances since half-time, 23 to 13, Dern.
You can have all the runners on the outside in the world, unless you're winning it on the inside, it only gets to them by accident. Yep. And you don't win games that way.
And both coaches have spoken about that. One it before the game, one at half-time, three-quarter time.
Going super short. This man, Darwin Impey's done a really good job today.
Well, he's only drafted last year, their top draft pick, and they backed him in to play that small defender role, and he's done some good jobs this year.
It's fairly adventurous, wasn't it, to kick it into the middle. Now, Fife, he did not realise that Gray was so close. Let's hope he's okay. Slow to get up.
They're both down.
Yeah. It's going to come to Mundy. Comes his way, 20 metres out.
He's a beautiful kid. And misses with that one.
5 still down, boys. Robbie Gray's a bit sore too.
Both. Good feeling after that.
Didn't look Huge amounts.
I guess when he tackles and falls to ground.
That's when Gray would have got hurt.
I reckon Ballantyne might give him a little kick in the head there as he's coming past.
Oh, he wouldn't do that, Moons.
No, that was friendly fire.
It was his teammate.
I like the way Moons describes it as a little kick in the head. Is there such a thing?
If the head's still attached to him, it's a little one.
From the boundary throw-in, Sandlands spiking it forward for Johnson. Back for Neal now. Now Pearce can't shake off the effort of Ollie Wines. Crowd clambering for more free kicks. They want more action in this last turn, and they might get it. Polak still running, still bounding forward. Robbie Gray.
He's going to get it.
He's been superb. He sets up a bit of a foot race. And the ball goes over and out of bounds. So 24 points is the margin now as we check the live ladder. Port Adelaide will be back on top. Hawthorn were able to wrangle it off them last week with their massive win over St Kilda.
Well, I reckon they play the Hawks very shortly.
After the break.
Is it after the break? And they're injury depleted too. That's the old-fashioned 8-point game, isn't it?
Corns. We're down to 2 minutes 30. Back to centre half forward, Broadbent. Fife, creative. De Boer to Clark. The next link in the chain is forced to have a shot. There's no one to give it to. There was an open goal square, and it got there. It just crept over the line for a goal.
Yeah, the heat's not there anymore compared to what it was at the start of this quarter. So they just shovel it down. There's a little bit of a bubble with the ball. Not a great attack. And a couple of tackles, but they don't try and keep the ball in close. A little handoff.
Looked like it was going to suck back here and just ruin his day, didn't it? But it slid over and he's done all right, Clark.
Kicked the balata in of it.
There is, after the bye, that mouth-watering clash set for round 10 here at the Adelaide Oval.
I was going to say there's some very winnable games there, but they're all winnable for Port Adelaide these days.
They are now, aren't they? Gray sends it out very wide. Silvani done a pretty good job on Jay Schultz.
Robbie Gray's had 24 touches in the second half, boys, so he had 5 in the first half. He's really, really stood up and played a belter when it counted.
Now Fremantle will be 4-4 after this last year's runner-up, and they've got Geelong next week at Patterson Stadium at home. So that becomes a real
must-win.
Landmark match, that one, doesn't it? Subin to half forward. Fife again. Carlisle. Crumbs go Pittard's way. Advantage paid. March out of defence. Ollie Wines. Good play for 4 quarters today. Charging forward again. Young.
Got Mzungu on wing guard in the goal square now.
High ball back from Boak. He wants it again, wing guard. He does. He'll kick his 6th off his right boot. No, he won't. He might back again. The big kid in the schoolyard who kicked it up and chases his own footy.
And crumbs it as well.
So a minute to go. The margin stands at 18. Neal kicks back into the middle.
Johnson's on the move.
Yeah, they've got plenty on this side of the ground. Barlow sneaking to the 50. Will they get the bounces after? Not initially. Johnson had to contend with Pollock, Pearce. They've got touched. Broadbent. Satisfaction again for Port Adelaide as Corns comes away with the footy.
This will be the first time they've ever been 7-1, Port Adelaide as well. Whatever that means. Other than the fact that they've played 8 games. Better at the best start of the year.
That would be pleasing to Ken Hinkley, that last passage of play then. I mean, it'd be so easy when you got the game dead, killed, dusted, whatever you want to call it. You can give up a goal like that on the death. But they still fought that out and made sure that there wasn't another shot at goal against them. And that's a real mindset that's obviously running through this team. There's no fallacy here. This team is incredibly physically fit.
Well, they've knocked off Geelong. They've knocked off Freo. And Hawthorn if they can knock them off, if they could knock them off, then people will take them real serious.
Siren sounds at the Adelaide Oval. Another challenger conquered. This one comes after a mighty dogfight. It's a satisfying victory. They've got home by 18 points. They're back on top of the ladder. Bring on the Hawks. What a performance from Ken Hinkley and this Port Adelaide team. 7-1. And there was plenty of moments today in the first 3 quarters where it looked unlikely.
Well, Freo came to play. They put a huge amount of pressure on for the first 3 quarters, but we said right at the start they had to do it for 4 quarters and they couldn't do it. In the last quarter, Freo were found wanting.
Their planning was good. Freo's planning was
They did everything
really
they
good.
could.
They got in the face. They came up to the ball carrier of Port Adelaide. They choked them. They denied them targets. They forced them into errors, and they were right in the game. And they had that slender lead at 3/4 time to the barest of margins under a goal. And we thought, they'll fight it out. This is the Freo who can choke down games and they'll take it to the line. They were blown away by perhaps the fittest team we've ever seen take the field.
Their last quarters are just unbelievable, aren't they? Let's get down to